Okay, the parole board will be called to order. Today is 4/30/2025. Time is 8:56. My name is Pete Freeman. I'll be the acting chair today. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. To my left is Mr. Tillis. Would staff at headquarters please introduce themselves?
Sure.
Okay. Mr. Thrasher, is there anybody in the room with you? You're on mute.
No, sir.
Okay, we really don't need anyone. Okay, Mr. Thrasher, please state your name and DOC number for the record.
Charmaine Thrasher, 556383.
Okay, Mr. Thrasher, today is your revocation hearing. Speaking on your behalf will be Mayola Williams, your ex-girlfriend. And what will happen is your case has been assigned to Ms. Stapleton. She will read you the violations. You plead guilty, not guilty, with or without a statement. And then we'll make our decision on your fate today, okay? First off, do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
No, sir.
Okay, can we put one up on the screen for him, please? Okay, you see that questionnaire? Is that your signature at the bottom? Mr. Thrasher?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's your signature. Okay, so that form says you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So if you wish to have counsel today, you would have to hire them. Do you want to proceed or you want to wait and hire counsel?
I'm gonna proceed.
Okay. All right, Mr. Thrasher. Like I said, Ms. Mayola Williams, are you on, Ms. Williams? Y'all don't have.
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. What do you want us to know about Mr. Thrasher?
Sir. Good morning.
Morning. What do you want to tell us about Mr. Thrasher?
Yeah, I told him I was okay with him being released.
Okay. You're the victim in this offense?
Well, years ago, that's why they did it. But I'm fine with him now. That's been like 4 years ago.
Okay. Any particular reason y'all were trying to lie to police about the protective order?
Well, I can barely hear you. What you say?
I said there was any particular reason that y'all were trying to lie about the protective order?
Yeah, because I didn't realize that it was still. I thought when he did like 2 years, I thought when he came home it was okay, which I wasn't living there. I had my own place, but I found out then. I think Miss Jerry let me know that it was still on a protective order. It was still going.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions? So you're not scared of him at all?
No, sir.
Any other questions?
Not really.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Williams, for participating. All right, Ms. Stapleton, you can ask him the questions.
Okay, do y'all read out the rule violations?
Yes, read the
Okay.
rule violation and he
All
can
right.
plead guilty or not guilty and he can give
With
us
the
a statement.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna read the rule violations, Mr. Thrasher. Rule violation number 2. And that records reflect you failed to report to your parole officer on 11/14/2024. Guilty, not guilty? With a statement?
I pleaded guilty at first, but can I change my plea? Because I wasn't sure about Mike being my parole officer. I had a different parole officer. And all of a sudden he jumped on the case and started coming behind me like 4 days in a row. And I told him I was I had medical reasons. I was checking on my health at that time. And he told me he understood, but it seems like it's a problem now. And
So you're saying that
They
So-
changed the parole officer at the spur of the moment. I didn't know about it.
You know, it's fine. So he's pleading not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay. All right, didn't know your parole officer. All right, and then the records reflect that you failed to allow your agent to visit you at your residence on 11/13/2024. Guilty, not guilty statement?
Not guilty.
Did he ever get to come to your residence?
Yes, ma'am. He came there and searched my home. Everything was okay.
Okay. And the records reflect that you failed to refrain from associations with persons involved in the illegal possession, sale, and distribution of scheduled narcotics as evidenced by your positive drug screen for THC on 11/18/2024.
I plead guilty on that because I told him that I had smoked prior to the election day. And then he said it was okay, as long as it was THC.
Nah, I don't believe that. Now,
I
come
don't
on.
either.
That's what he told
I'm
me.
not buying that. Okay, let's move on down to number 4. Another rule violation. 4. Records further reflect you were engaged in criminal activity on 11/18 and 11/19, which led to the arrest by probation and parole and subsequent charge of violation of protective order on 3/26/2025. You pled guilty to this offense under TAN number 2402606 and received credit for time served. So you pled guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Violation of protective order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, number 7. And the records reflect you lied to your parole officer on 11/18/2024 in an attempt to obstruct him from criminal investigation of violation of a protective order.
No.
You didn't lie?
Well, I plead guilty on them because, like, you know, they told them they ain't want me to get in trouble. So, yes, I plead guilty.
Guilty. Like you did originally. Okay, number 10, and that records reflect you have failed to pay supervision fees since your release on good time parole supervision, resulting in the current arrears balance of $378. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. I didn't have a job at that moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, so on the paperwork that I've got that originally, everything that came up, you plead guilty to.
Yes, ma'am.
And the original charge against you was domestic abuse battery and battery on a dating partner. And that's why. And so that did happen, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's the reason why I'm on parole.
Yeah, and then that's why you got the protective order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it's against the lady that spoke earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And y'all are separate and apart now?
Right now, right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you better check about that protective order, how long that thing is in effect, because sometimes it's years, sometimes it's a lifetime. But so you better know what the status is on the protective order that the judge put in place.
So you don't think we could get that taken care of, get that off me?
Well, that
What-
have
What
to
you
do,
need to do. That's what you should have done.
yeah, y'all got to check into
Y'all
that.
gotta check into it and get it off. Y'all
Right.
can't be around each other.
Okay,
They can make it permanent. They can make it 10 years, 5 years, however serious the judge at that time felt it was. And then anytime you go, even speaking to her on the phone, because she did say when she spoke to us earlier, I told him. So that means y'all are having conversations on the phone. Is that correct while you're incarcerated?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that's not staying apart because that includes telephone conversation and even third-party conversation. You can't tell somebody to tell her. That would be violation of your protective order. So you
Okay.
need to get that taken care of, and she needs to find out what she has to do.
Can I say something?
Sure.
at court, when I was doing court, before I got to speak to y'all, Judge Foster had granted like the protective orders to be, disposed of, and I don't know if they really still accurate or whatever.
Okay, Judge Foster, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure is listening to this conversation online, so, she needs to get with Judge Foster and find out the status of the protective order, so you won't be in violation of, it if y'all talk on the phone even.
Okay.
All right, that's all.
I have no question.
Where would you live if you were released?
At the same address, 502 MC Moore Road, apartment B.
Oh, she came to his house.
Yeah, right. He
Okay,
wasn't at
and,
her.
do you have a job lined up?
Yes, sir. I'm thinking about still doing the construction, but at that time I didn't have, because all the storms that were going on at that time. So I was out of work at that time.
How long have you been incarcerated?
Going on 6 months.
But were you having any problems with your parole officer? You said you're in line now with the right parole officer.
Right. At that time I had a new Miss Amy at that time. And I didn't know he had changed it, whatever they did.
Yeah, that's just-
Okay, all right. No questions.
Okay, is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Ms. Carroll?
Mr. Thrasher, I'm going to revoke you because you did plead guilty to several, different crimes, so today, but I would love to see you get into a DBOP program in jail, in the prison where you're at, a domestic violence program, so that when you do get out, you'll have that, training and understanding. That's all.
Mr. Jones?
I'm gonna have to concur with Ms. Carroll, and also, do you have a drug problem?
No, sir.
Okay, well, my vote's gonna be to deny, revoke.
And my vote would be to not revoke. And I would have ordered you to make sure you got that protective order straight before you ever talk to her again, but today your vote is two to revoke, one not to revoke, so your parole has been revoked. We'll sign out at Tangipahoa Parish Jail at 9:09. Okay, the parole board's call back to order. Time is 9:20. My name is Pete Freeman. I will be the acting chair. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. Is there anyone in the room with you, sir? You're on mute.
No, sir. I'm in a little cubicle thing.
Okay, that's fine then. That's fine. Okay, Mr. Mack, state your name and DOC number for the record, please.
My name is Rashaud Mack. My DOC number is 601829.
Okay, and did you get a parole questionnaire about appointed counsel? Do you have that with you?
No, sir.
If we're gonna put it up on the board, tell us if that's your signature. Do you remember that form?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the form determined that you were not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you wish to retain counsel or proceed with the hearing?
Proceed.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mack, I was assigned your case today. First, we're gonna hear from Ms. Bridget Ballard. Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want us to know about Mr. Mack?
I was just gonna say that there was no domestic violence done that day. I called the cops because we got in an argument and he had kicked my bedroom door and it came off the hinges and it just made me mad, so I called the cops on him. But I'm not really sure why they put domestic violence on there because he never hit me.
Okay, on your call to the police, did you say he was trying to kill you?
No, I called them and they kept calling me back, and I did say that if they weren't gonna come to my house, that I would kill him. But no, I didn't say that he was trying to kill me. I've known him for 6 years. He's never been violent with me.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Uh,
So anybody else have?
you don't think that's domestic violence? You say you don't know why it said domestic violence, so you don't think that's domestic violence?
Him kicking my door?
Yes.
Or, no.
Okay, and you calling the police saying you were gonna kill him?
I was mad because I had caught him talking to another girl, so I was just upset, and I don't know why I done that.
I see. Okay.
Okay, all right, Mr. Mack, as I said, your case was assigned to me. I'm gonna read the charges against you and, you can plead guilty, not guilty, with or without a statement, okay? So the first charge against you is that on 10/30/24, you were arrested for the offense of battery of a dating partner and simple damage to property as evident by your arrest for LaSalle Parish Sheriff's Office on 3/12/25. You entered a plea of guilty to the charge of simple criminal damage to property. The charge of battery on a dating partner was dismissed. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay, what about the criminal damage to property?
Guilty.
Okay. On 6/24/24, 8/19/24, and 10/30/24, you tested positive for marijuana. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Mack, do you have a problem with drugs?
No, sir.
Well, why are you smoking so much marijuana?
I really was in a depressed state of mind because I had came home and I was trying to get a job and couldn't get one. Then Bridget was taking me to the temp services and stuff. I had a job lined up at a warehouse, and then I would go there and they told me that they didn't need me. And then I try to get a job application at other places, and they would tell me that they was going to see about hiring me. And then I call and check on the application and stuff. And then they were saying they filled the position, or I called at another job, and then the guy hung up on me as I just couldn't get right. I'm just trying to get a job and wasn't nothing going for me. So I started going to what's a little community college thing around here, trying to get my GED. I was in the process of getting my GED, and she was in the process of helping me get a job at Walmart, place where she works at. And I had went for an interview. I was waiting on my background check to come back. Then all this had happened. But I was trying to get my GED and eventually learn a trade.
Okay. Did you grab her by the back of the shirt?
Yes, sir, but I wouldn't say it wasn't aggressive. I swear it was no aggressive grab or domestic or no violent, you know, motive or nothing. I seriously I didn't grab and pull her shirt. I just like kind of touched it as she was getting up out the bed, trying to like go into the living room and stuff. And I was just trying to stop her to have a conversation about what we was arguing about to settle the
It was pretty heated though. Did you throw a speaker?
No, sir, I didn't throw a speaker.
Tell me, Joe, you didn't throw no speaker.
No, sir, I don't know where that came from. One of the police pulled up and I guess they went and talked to her up the road. They come back and asked me if I threw up against a wall or something like that. I was like, no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't do
saw I looked at all of the body camera footage, and they had all of that on there. So we saw all of that. I have no further questions. Does either of my colleagues have? questions?
What do you plan to do if you're released?
I was planning to start to get back my GED, going back to my GED class. But I feel like that would help me get a job, if I can have something like that. And
What
then
about what about the drugs? What are you gonna do about the drugs?
I wasn't using every day. It was just I get down real bad and I just smoked like one or two joints and that was it.
But yeah, you don't need to
But
do that.
I'm not gonna if you ask me am I gonna smoke anymore, no sir.
Where do you plan to live?
I was living with at my mom's.
You and your girlfriend don't plan to get back together?
Yeah, we might. But I mean we not in no bad terms. Like I said, it was just a big misunderstanding. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be back out there at her house. Between her house and my mom's house.
Okay, so you guys been together about 6 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Were there any kids in the house when this happened?
No, sir.
I keep going back to the violence. I mean, somebody kicking a door in. That is a very heated argument. Even if you didn't lay hands on her, it's a threatening environment for someone. So when something gets to that point and you grabbed her by the neckline of her blouse and pulled her back, it's easy for that thing to escalate into, beating somebody up or strangling someone, different things that we hear about. So I don't think it's a good idea that y'all get back together. It doesn't sound like.
Yes, ma'am. But as long as I've been knowing her, we never even we never had nothing like this ever happen. It was just a bad morning.
Okay.
But I apologize as soon as I touched her shirt. I had apologized, said I was sorry. And
Okay.
things like that.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mack, I'm gonna vote first. I had your case. I'm caught between two things I want to do with you. But I don't know if your drug problem is bad enough to put you in treatment. So my vote today is gonna be to do not revoke, but send you to work release for 6 months. That should get you a job and that should put you some money in your account. And when you finish those 6 months, you'll be ready to go. I also suggest if they have an anger management class there, that you do take it. Okay, so in lieu of revocation, I'm gonna put you in work release for 6 months.
Yes, sir.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
And I concur with Mr. Freeman, and he said anger management class, which is good if this is just about anger. But if they have a domestic violence class, which is different from anger, because and you'll find that out in the class. Domestic violence is against that particular person, and you can hold your temper with other people, but not maybe with the partner that you're living with. That's domestic violence. So I would like for you to be enrolled in a domestic violence class. But I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, so you understand what's going on? We'll get
Yes,
you
sir.
transferred to a work release as soon as possible. And once you complete your 6 months in work release, you'll be cut loose and be put back under supervision.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hopefully they'll get you to a work release close to your home to where you make and keep the job upon release.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Closing out at LaSalle at 9:30.
There we go. There we go. Time's the night. Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure I clicked on those 2 buttons.
Time's the night.
Oh, did you see me clicking on that stuff?
We don't need this. We're ready. Live on YouTube.
Oh, you just hang out, 'cause I ain't got no radio to call you. You're responsible.
I am for all the not just one room. Yeah.
Where's your corporal?
He's taking drop. Oh, there.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah, I like that drop, don't you?
Okay, the parole board is called back to order. Our next case is going to be Donald Johnson. We are in Rapides Parish. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm the acting chair. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. Here today to hear the hearing on Donald Johnson Jr. Mr. Johnson, please state your name and DLC number for the record, please.
Donald Johnson Jr., 727-870.
Okay, officer, could you state your name for the record also, please?
Sergeant Marsh.
Sergeant Marsh. Okay. Sergeant Marsh, have y'all had any problems with him since he been in there?
No, sir. Normally, if I hear a name come up, it's a bad thing, but I haven't heard his name at all, so.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Donald, today your case has been assigned. Do you have your parole questionnaire with you, Donald?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you realized you wasn't eligible for an attorney. You had to hire one if you wanted one.
Yes, sir.
So you want to proceed without an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Donald, your case was assigned to me, so I'm gonna read the violation. You can plead guilty or not guilty with or without a statement, okay?
Yes, sir.
So the first violation is that number 2 is that you have failed to report your officer for the months of August, September, October, November, December, January, and February. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Okay. Number 3 is that you left the state of Louisiana without permission from your officer, and this is evidenced by your arrest in Collin County, Texas on 9/3/24. How you plead to that charge?
Guilty, sir.
Okay. And that you failed to refrain from criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest on 9/3/24 by Collin County Sheriff's Office, Texas, for protection of a violation of a protective order. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty, sir.
And then number 10, that you were in arrears for $884.
Yes, sir. Guilty.
Okay. All right. Would you like to make a statement on these charges, Mr. Johnson?
On the only one on that violating the protective order, if
Mhm.
me and her was together the whole time during that protective order. But he had said he had to arrest me because we was right there by each other. He said he had to arrest me. But if I was to get in contact with her, and she still's my girlfriend till today, if y'all would like to get in contact with her, she probably can speak on that behalf. But other than that, nothing else. Sir.
Okay. She's not the petition. No. Okay. All right. And why did you go to Texas? You should know you shouldn't go to Texas. You've been on supervision before.
Right. I had better opportunity as getting a job out there. But like you say, I knew I didn't supposed to leave the state of Louisiana, so I should have just kept trying around here. She moved up there, me following her. I went up there.
All right. And how long you been in jail? 6 months?
Oh, no, sir. I've been in jail going on like 2 months, maybe 2.5.
Okay. Do any of my colleagues have any questions?
Why are you violating your rules?
Oh, like I said, Texas really had better opportunity. I should have did it the right way. I did it the wrong way. And I did ask my PO at one time, could I go out there? But he said let him know, and I didn't let him know. That's why I violated it.
Okay. And you've been revoked several times.
Well, on probation I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey. Okay. More questions.
And that not reporting I always had got me. But I was doing good at one time. But those months I didn't report, that's where I was.
I have no more questions.
What is the protective order put on you for her? What happened?
She have a mad days. And I be telling her I can't afford that with my position, like being on probation or parole. She had
She had
a,
Man,
she got just mad at you and the police were called?
yes, ma'am.
Did she have any bruises or anything like that on her? I mean, what made them?
No, ma'am. They showed up and it was like he was sitting in his truck maybe about 20, 30 minutes. And he said I had a NCIS warrant for violating the protective order. But it wasn't no domestic or none of that. He was just like, man, I have to take you to jail because she have this protective order on you.
Right, there's a protective order against you. Like you said, y'all are still together and you plan to be together. You're gonna be in violation of that protective order every time you do that.
Yes, ma'am.
This hearing is over, as long as that protective order is in place and you have contact with this lady, you're in violation and you're breaking the law. That's another way you're breaking the law. So.
Yes, ma'am. I think it ended last year in like November, I want to say. It's no longer in effect right now.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. It's no longer in effect.
all right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have no more questions.
Panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, you pled guilty to all the violations. You were on probation before. You admitted you knew you shouldn't be in Texas. You got to be accessible to your probation officer. So I'm going to vote to revoke in violation of conditions number 2, 3, 4, and 10.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
And Mr. Stapleton.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, today your parole's been revoked. Make sure y'all get that protective order off before you get out. Not to be in long. So you need to take care of that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Signing off at Rapides at 9:46.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Okay, the parole board's called back to order. My name is Pete Freeman. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. We are now at Livingston Parish Jail. Would staff at Livingston please introduce yourself?
Sergeant Jennifer Gomez of Classifications.
Okay,
Corporal
and
Greg Bernay.
who's that lady with you, ma'am?
Hi, I'm Taylor Glass, appointed counsel for Mr. Beecham.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Glass.
Yes, sir.
Officer, have y'all had any problems with him since he's been there?
No, sir, we have not. He has not had any disciplinary whatsoever.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, today we're here for your revocation hearing, Mr. Beauchamp. Could you state your name and DOC number for the record?
Russell Beecham, 327-172.
Okay, and your attorney, you could step in at any time during this hearing if you want to ask us a question, or you can talk to him and give him legal advice as we go on, okay?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And if you wish to make a statement on his behalf, you can do that right now.
Okay. If you would like to go through,
Violations?
the violations first, and then maybe if he would like me to, I can make a statement at that time.
Sure.
Okay.
You- Do the violations, guy. Your case was assigned to Mr. Tillis. He's gonna read the violation.
Hey, Mr. Beauchamp, how are you this morning?
Pretty much fair.
Good, good. You violated rule number 4. It has been alleged that you engaged in criminal activity in that you committed the offense of simple assault, which led to your arrest by the Denham Springs Police Department on 11/11/24. This charge has been rejected by the 21st Judicial District Attorney's Office. It is alleged that you engaged in how do you plead on that charge? Guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement?
Not guilty.
Not guilty?
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, go.
Not on that one.
Not on that one.
Not on that
It's
one.
not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay, do y'all want to make a statement on it?
Do you want to make a statement on that one?
Yes, sir. I just have been,
I think that you hadn't got to the second alleged criminal activity that happened on February 13th of 2025. That, in speaking with him and in speaking with the family members, that alleged offense has also been rejected, but that offense involved his mother, his elderly mother who was living with at the time, who I've since learned from speaking with different family members that she has dementia, advanced stage dementia. It was also alleged, and I'm not sure if you have that report in front of you, but at our pre-hearing that we had on the matter with his district parole officer and the hearing officer, that she actually at some point subsequently called and made a statement, and that statement was played at our last hearing, where she sort of recanted the statement that she made initially, because on that event, February 13th, he actually called law enforcement to come out to the home because she had fallen, and that's when she made the initial statement that he had pushed her out of the wheelchair. But like I said, at the hearing that was held here at the Livingston Parish Jail, where his probation officer, his parole officer was present, as well as the hearing officer, a voicemail was played at that time whereby she stated that was not the case, that did not actually happen.
And she's not here today?
She is not here today. She is not doing well from all accounts that we've received from family members. Her dementia, I think, has advanced some even since he's been incarcerated, so we were not able to have her here today.
And the daughter wasn't available?
No, sir. The daughter is not. We've not had contact with the daughter.
How old is his mother?
How old your mom?
my mother's she's in her 60s.
I don't think she's in her 60s. I think she's almost 80.
Okay. Rule number 4, it has been alleged that you engaged in a criminal activity in that you committed the offense of a domestic abuse battery, which led to your arrest by the Denham Springs Police Department on 2/13/2025. This charge was rejected by the 21st Judicial District Attorney's Office on 2/27/25. How do you plead guilty, not guilty, or guilty with the statement?
Not guilty.
Okay, yeah, it was explained. Rule number 10, fail to pay supervision fees as instructed. Records reflect that you are currently $4,351 in the arrear and failed to submit a payment plan since 7/2/2019. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty with the state.
Okay.
I like to plead not guilty because Judge Jeffrey Johnson, I was released from the Department of Public Safety and Corrections on his 30-year sentence for distribution. He found proper cause on the excessive sentence. I was released November 7th, 2018. And then since then, I was recently, me and my attorney, Frank Ferraro, was an order to 19th District in court on 21st District Court by this Judge Jeffrey F. Johnson. And I got a court date notice on my destination date of month of May of May 2025 by mail. By my mailing address, 3301 Fairbanks Drive, by Fairbanks Drive, Denham Springs, Louisiana, 707, the board of parole. I got a date coming up. I got a court date coming up pretty soon for determine whether or not they're gonna take me off parole.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, why you didn't pay the fees? You wasn't working?
No, sir.
You get SSI check, anything?
Yes, sir. I get $967.
That's
Now
not
I pay, the most I paid was like I want to check out for like $200.
Okay. Okay. Right.
The attorney have any other
comments, ma'am?
Just that I've been in contact with family members, and we along with his local parole officer are kind of trying to help facilitate a plan for him to return to society if that happens. We're working on getting him a place to stay, a place on his own, even though the alleged events that took place with his mother and his family members, those charges were rejected. I think he feels and we feel it's in his best interest maybe to distance himself from those people. So we're trying to get him a place on his own so that we don't have to deal with these issues again and we don't end up back here. And he is in agreement with that. His uncle is helping facilitate that to get him a place to stay, get him on his feet. They've advised that he is welcome to stay with them in the meantime if we need to do that. They're also willing to help facilitate him getting back on track with his doctors. Before he was incarcerated on these charges, he was under the care of doctors for some physical issues that he has, but also some mental things that he was dealing with. He was seeing a psychiatrist, he was prescribed medication, and everybody's on board with trying to get him back in the swing of that, going to see his doctor regularly, getting him back on his medication that he has not had since being incarcerated. He takes medications as he's been here for seizures, but he is not taking his medicine that has been prescribed by his psychiatrist. So we've kind of got a team in place to help facilitate that if he is in fact released.
That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about is that he's not on his medication now, right?
Right.
So they can give him a supply to leave.
Right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna I have a motion for executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Could you call the roll?
Freeman,
Yes?
Carroll,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session for a few minutes to discuss confidential matter.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna talk about it usually for just a minute, okay?
we're ready to come back to order. Time is 10:09. Do I have a motion?
I move that we get back into regular session.
Okay.
Second.
Vote.
Freeman,
Yes.
Safety,
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Beauchamp, in discussing this with my colleagues, you present us with a very sticky situation here, because we want you on your meds before you go home. So what we're gonna do, in lieu of revocation, we are gonna send you to Hunt for a substance abuse and mental health evaluation. They will put you on your prescribed medications and get you stable. And then once you get stable, they'll make a recommendation to us on turning you back loose to your uncle. Okay, so your counsel explained to you what we're doing. We're not revoking. Okay, so you're not going back and doing all of those years that they gave you. You're just gonna go back, get this evaluation. It can't be more than 6 months, max of 6 months. And then you'll be let out. Please try to stay on your medication. Hopefully your uncle and them in the community will help you out. Okay? So that's my vote. Okay?
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
And Ms. Tillman.
And I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, so that's your vote today. Good luck to you. Thank y'all for accommodating us.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll
You have a
sign
great
out
day.
at the Parish Jail at 10:10.
That's kind of exactly what I thought was gonna happen, so that's good.
What they say?
Okay, the parole board's called back to order. Time is 10:20. I am the acting chair, Pete Freeman. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. We are here for the revocation hearing on Brian Carmuche. Mr. Carmuche, please state your name and DOC number for the record. You're on mute.
Brian Carmouche, 362943.
Okay, officer, what is your name, sir?
Deputy Bryant.
Okay, Deputy Brian, have y'all had any problems with Mr. Carmuche since he's been in there?
None that I know of, sir.
Okay. That's basically we wanted to know. No problems with him at all, huh? Okay.
None that I know of.
All
sir.
right. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna proceed with the hearing today. Do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you understand it? You realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to proceed today without appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. He'll read your violations. You can plead guilty or not guilty with or without a statement, and he'll ask you questions. Okay, Mr. Tillis.
Morning, Mr. Carmuche. How are you?
All right, and you?
Okay, you violated rule number 2, failure to report to the Division of Parole and Probations for the months of February, March, May, and July of 2023. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty and like a statement.
Okay, let's go ahead. What's your statement?
All right. When I made parole, I was going to see my first 6 months. I went every month. Then she started me coming once every other month. So when I went on the months that she went, the ones she got on there, she wasn't there. So I called on the phone, asked someone to report to the library office because I started reporting to Broad Bridge first Wednesday every month. I started to go every month, other month she started me after 6 months. But after that, because the main office is way in Liberia, and sometimes we didn't have no ride. So when she wasn't there, I called the phone, asked someone to report. And when she never got back at me, I just continued going on my regular dates, you know? And so I didn't know that she'd use that against me. I'll go ahead and go report to the office in another parish, in Alberta parish, if I knew that, you know. But I did report the months and I did pay for the months. But she wasn't there, but you know.
Okay. You also violated rule number 4. It is alleged that you engaged in criminal activity on or about 9/19/2021 by committing the offense of domestic abuse battery, simple criminal damage to property, and interfering with emergency communicators, and arrest warrant was obtained for you in Lafayette Police Department on 9/19/2021 for the offense of domestic abuse battery, simple criminal damage, and property, and interfering with communications. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement?
No, them charges was dismissed last month when I went to court. They was dismissed, yes, sir.
Okay. Number 10, you failed to maintain payments of supervision fees and are currently $505 in the arrear. How do you plead?
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, tell us about it.
All right. When I got arrested, I only owed $64. Out of the 59 months I've been home, I missed one payment. That's the payment I got arrested, that month I got arrested. So now I got my sheet right here from the bill of particulars. I only owe $64. right here.
Fine,
But
thank
now
you.
she got 505. I asked her why. So why it don't stop? She said it don't stop because I'm locked up. Well, I couldn't pay because I'm locked up. I got no income, you know. But
All right. Rule number 13, special conditions, curfew 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It is alleged that you violated the order of curfew on or about 9/19/2021, as evident by the report from the Lafayette Police Department, indicating you were in violation of an incident on or about 9/19/2021 at approximately 2100 hours. 1:21 a.m. The incident resulted in an arrest warrant being issued for this offense of domestic abuse battery, simple criminal damage to property, and interfering with emergency communication. How do you plead?
he's not guilty. Not guilty to the charges, but I could plead guilty. I remember I was telling my parole officer about the incident. I didn't know that I had a warrant. I never got arrested for it. I didn't know the girl I wrote a statement. The girl that I was to work with, I put her out of my car. And me and her did mess around. And I was giving her a ride at night. Now I'm in violation of my curfew. I plead guilty to my curfew. But all the other stuff, she lied on me, said she would get me in jail, kept hitting on me. I put her out of my car. I never talked to her since. So I was telling my parole officer what happened too at the time when she arrested me in 2023.
Okay. The pictures showed that she was beat up pretty bad.
I know she wasn't beat up by me.
You didn't?
She the one, I told her, my parole officer, I should have write a complaint about her. But I said, no, I just left her alone, never talked to her again. You know? She the one kept, sir?
You kept what?
She kept hitting on me, talking about she just like her mama and stuff. And she's, all drunk. So I put her in a liquor out of my car and never talked to her again. She hit me like about 10 times while I was driving. I'm going to drop her home and stuff. She is crazy, bro. I didn't know none of this she had press charges or something. Years later, my parole officer said I had a warrant when I've been arrested ever since. I've been locked up ever since 2023. But the charge has been dismissed though for that, for that too though.
All right, Rule 13, special conditions to attend weekly AA meetings. Why? You have failed to provide verification of AA meetings attendance since February 2020. What happened? Why weren't you attending those?
Well, the COVID that stopped doing the COVID-19 stuff. They stopped at the church I was going at. So when I started back, Miss Rochelle came by me in August of 2023 to the house. She told me to report, come September, so that I'm going to my classes. So when I went in September, I didn't have my paper on because I wasn't in my vehicle. I was in a rental. My vehicle was getting fixed, and I had to get, my paper was in my truck. So when I didn't want to miss my reporting, so I reported anyway. When I got in there, she asked about if I got my paper from AA class. I told her no. She said, "Oh no, get out of here. I'm gonna let them deal with you." I don't know what you mean. I guess probably talking about y'all. So all right, I left. So when I returned in October, I brought my paper with me, and it's in my property right now with my names. It should be my property right now. But she just got me off of arresting me. Said I had a warrant in that field that I didn't know nothing about, and I've been there ever since. And she never even looked at my paper so that I'm going to my classes. But I do have it in my property with my license and my keys and everything.
I see. Let me ask you a question. Were you drinking the night you had the altercation with the young lady, your girlfriend?
Yes, I drank. Yeah, I wasn't drunk. I don't drink them. I took a beer or something with her.
Both of you were drinking?
Well, she drinks a lot. When I put out the car, I put her a fifth, she had a fifth of gin. I put out my in the gin and a case of beer. I put it out my car with it and stuff because she was all drunk, fuck talking out of head, want to fight because her mom was. I just dropped the mama home. Her mom was fighting with the daughter and I was going up to her stepdaughter. Her daughter-in-law me because her brother had a party. She won't call me to give him a ride back home. When I got there, they had a big commotion going on. You know, so I'm dropping mama home. I'm going to drop her home. She starts talking. I'm just like my mom, and just start hitting me. You know, and that's.
Okay,
And I just,
I have no more questions.
What
all
about the
right.
phone? You threw a phone out the window?
Yes, sir.
Why'd you do that?
Because she called 911 on me. I didn't know she had called 911 because when her phone rang, she said, you're going to jail. Her phone rang and I heard her say 911. So you called. So I grabbed her phone up and get out my car. And I threw out my car. I threw her phone, go get your phone. I threw it out the car and told her get out my car too. And I gave her a liquor and everything. Yes, I did. But I didn't break up on that. I threw it out the window. I didn't, you know.
Broke.
Mm-hmm. It broke?
Yeah, it's shattered.
Oh, it shattered?
Yeah, we got pictures. You know what they say about pictures, it's worth
It's
1,000
worth
words.
1,000 words. Yes, ma'am.
That's
Yes,
accurate. And we got pictures of her busted lip, the scratches on her face. She said you threw her out of the car while it was still moving.
No.
But they took pictures of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I had to stop the car. I
hit
stopped the
by,
car.
she
I
was
stopped the
hit.
car to get out. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped the car so that I could put out my car. I know to do that.
Well,
That's
the
right.
phone's busted. We're looking at the busted phone right here. So she
All
made the
right.
911 call, so that goes through.
Mm-hmm.
Usually 911 calls are recorded and
Mm-hmm.
time stamped and everything. So you did break your curfew. You were out when you weren't supposed to be, and you
Yes,
were
ma'am.
with her, and she had injuries from you because she was trying to call 911. So that's where
No,
another.
she did call 911, I think, because 911 ended up calling. She not about to call. She must have dialed it and hung up. Because when her phone rung and said 911, she said, Brown Carmuche. She said, Brown Carmuche, she's driving something. But she's driving my gray car. So I grabbed the phone.
Are just interfering with emergency communication and criminal
Mm-hmm.
charge department. So that involves the phone call and then your phone.
Mm-hmm. That's where the
And
charge came from. But then they've been dismissed, but that's where it came from, I guess. The
right,
criminal damage problem.
that's where it came from. And we're looking at pictures of her face.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Me neither.
Ready to vote?
Okay, Mr. Tillis?
My vote is to revoke due to the violations of the rules.
Mr. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Tillis.
And I also concur. I feel that you violated conditions number 4, number 10, and number 13. 14. So your parole's been revoked today. Good luck to you, sir. We're closing out at Jackson Parish at 10:34.
It's, what's the day?
Okay, the parole board's called back to order. It's 10:46. My name is Pete Freeman. I am your acting chair. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. We're here for a revocation hearing on Cynthia Manshack. Ms. Manshack, please state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Cynthia Sue Manshack. DOC number is 370145.
Okay. Ma'am, would the officer in the room identify yourself, please?
Officer Montgomery.
Okay, Ms. Montgomery, have y'all had any trouble with her since she's been there?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you for having us today. All right, Ms. Mack, do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
No, sir.
I'll put one on the screen. Tell us if that's your name and your signature. Is that your name?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, do you realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel today? If you wish to have representation, you'd have to pay for it yourself?
Yes, sir.
And you wish to proceed without counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your case has been assigned to Ms. Stapleton today, so please answer her questions.
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, ma'am. We're gonna get started.
Yes, ma'am.
It's showing that you're in violation of several rules, okay? So I'm just gonna read it as it's stated here. Rule number 2, you failed to report as instructed for the months of December 2023, as well as April, June, and September of 2024. And you can plead guilty, not guilty, or have a statement.
Well, I want to plead not guilty. Even though I didn't report, I always called in and my parole officer came to my residence because I always didn't have a way. I didn't have a way to go. So sometimes I couldn't physically show up, so he would come to my house. But I did always call.
Okay. All right, so the officer came or you called?
Yes, ma'am.
So the officer's lying. I guess.
No, ma'am, I didn't sometimes show up. No, ma'am, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. He was a great parole officer. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying sometimes I couldn't physically show up. I would call in.
And that, okay.
And he would say, I'll come back to your house.
All right, I got you. All right, number 3. Agents made multiple attempts to contact you at your address of record, 169 Kavanaugh Street, Mansfield, Louisiana, on September the 12th, September 13th, September 25th, September 26th, 27th of 2023, and on October the 3rd of 2023, you advised that you had moved to a new address of 1055 Washington Avenue, room 121, Mansfield, Louisiana. The move was made without permission and a violation of your parole. Agents made unsuccessful attempts to visit you at this address on December the 5th, 6th, and the 20th of 2023. On December 2023, the manager of this facility was contacted and advised that you no longer resided at this address, to which you failed to inform your supervising agent. You again moved without permission of your supervising officer on December the 30th, 2023. Agents made contact with you. You then provided your current address of record. So how do you plead?
That's true. I plead guilty on that. That's true.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's see. All right. Number 3. Additionally, you left the state of Louisiana without permission or notifying your supervising agents, as evidenced by your arrest in Harrison County, Texas on December the 8th, 2023 for burglary of a building. How do you plead?
Okay, I plead not guilty on that, but I want to explain. I'm saying I did go to Texas. I was in Texas for 2 days, and really 3. I was in Texas, but I've never been arrested in Texas. I've never had any kind of problems in any other state except Louisiana. I've never been arrested anywhere but Louisiana. I don't know where that came from, but I was never arrested. And since being incarcerated since September, I have wrote multiple letters to Harrison County trying to get them to provide a mugshot, fingerprints, or something. They have never responded to anything I've written them. But yes, I was in Texas, but no, ma'am, I never got arrested there. Never bonded out. All I asked for was a mugshot picture of my fingerprints to prove that. And I can't get anybody to help me with that.
Okay, well, real quickly here, I've got two copies from the state of Texas, and one of them says Cynthia Manshack failed to appear, the state of Texas versus Cynthia Manshack. And so that was the case in Harrison County, Texas. And here's from the sheriff referencing your name, Cynthia Manshack, bond forfeiture, burglary of a building, place on hold, the above subject, no bond. We do not accept out-of-state bonds. Advised when subject has signed waiver or extradition, we will extradite. Please fax or email waiver of extradition, Harrison County Sheriff's Office. So got two things from them on that. So maybe Harrison County Sheriff's Office. All
yes,
right,
ma'am. That's what I know, but I've never been arrested there. I admit that I've admitted from the beginning that yes, I did go to Texas, but my boyfriend, the reason the move from the motel is the man that I was staying with, my boyfriend was doing criminal activity at the motel. Okay, well, they kicked us out. Okay, he was running from the law. I stayed in Mansfield. He went to Texas. Okay, well, he was begged me to go stay 2 days with him just because he wanted me to come over there. Please just come and say. I said, no, I'm not, because I was trying to do everything the right way for once in my life. I was trying to do it. And he ended up talking me to go in over there 2 days where when I went, he was steadily doing the same criminal activities. Okay, I got on the website and to Harrison County and I did a Crime Stopper on him. They could pull that up. I did a Crime Stopper on my own boyfriend because he was over there doing the same kind of things he was doing in Louisiana. And I found that he went to jail on December the 8th. That's when he got pulled over. He was bringing me home finally after the third day. He was taking me home and we got pulled over. That's when he went to jail for burglary of a building. He went to jail for drugs and all kind of stuff. And they let me go. I went back to Louisiana and I never went.
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
There's definitely charges on you in Texas and they have a detainer on you to bring you back when we finish. So you try to
But
get it
I
done.
would do anything I have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let's move on along, okay, because we do have paperwork on that. All right, number 4.
Okay.
You failed to refrain from criminal conduct in that on December the 8th, which you just mentioned, you committed the offense of burglary of a building and was arrested by Harrison County Sheriff's Office and placed in Harrison County main jail, where you eventually was released on bond. On June 11th, 2024, a warrant was obtained by Harrison County Sheriff's Office for a bond forfeiture on this charge. Pending charges in Texas currently have a hold without bond warrant for missing court. Texas has placed a detainer on this subject in Louisiana. How do you plead for that one? That would be
Not guilty. I was never arrested on December the 8th.
All right, got it. All right, and then another number 4, on January the 8th, 2024, Bossier City Police Department obtained a warrant for your arrest for the offense of theft. On July the 1st, 2024, Bossier City Police Department obtained a second warrant for your arrest for the second offense of theft. On September the 14th, 2024, you were arrested by the DeSoto Parish Sheriff's Office for outstanding warrants and was placed in the DeSoto Parish Detention Center and was later transported to Bossier Maximum Security Facility on 11/14/2024. That's a crime spree. How do you plead?
I plead guilty on that, but one charge did get dropped on that. one charge did get dropped, and I did plead guilty to the other charge, and I set my time out in Bossier, due to the fact that I was there from September to December, and they had gave me 6 months, and they told me that my time up there was December the 15th.
Okay, well, I interrupted myself. I'm sorry. On 11/14/2024, you pled guilty to misdemeanor theft of under $1,000, docket number 253323, and was sentenced to serve 6 months parish jail with credit for time served. The charge of theft under $1,000 was null pros on November the 14th, 2020. That must be what you're talking about, correct? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now, next page. You have reported being unemployed since December 2023. You have failed to provide any proof of employment for the entirety of 2024.
That's true.
Okay.
I plead guilty. That's true.
All right, and you have failed to make regular monthly payments towards your supervision fees, and currently you're in arrears of $943.
That's true.
Well, you had 3 pages there. You've been busy. I don't know what to say. I'm pled guilty to quite a few things that you know that you're not supposed to do. They were deliberate acts of violating the law. They speak for themselves as far as I'm. Okay, anybody else?
I don't have any.
I don't have a question.
Okay, you glad to vote?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna revoke you because you broke the law a lot. I'm gonna revoke you on, rule violation of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask one question?
Wait up.
What is my?
Wait, let us finish voting. Gotta finish voting. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tillis.
I concur with Mr. Stapleton.
And I concur also. I find you in violation of 3, 4, 6, and 10. Okay, you have a question? The parole has been revoked, by the way. What's your question? Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, can you
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to know, do I go back to my original sentence, or do I go back to the time I had left on parole? Is that what I have to back up?
Yeah, you gotta go back to your time left on parole, and they'll recommute your date. You'll probably be eligible for another parole hearing shortly. So, okay?
Okay, that's just all I wanted to know. I'm happy with whatever y'all say, sir, and I thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. All right, good luck to you. And we're closing out Louisiana Tradition Center at 11 o'clock.